Hello? Yes, I would like to 10x my productivity. Hell yeah, 10 tips to 10x your productivity? I gotcha. Yes, please, and thank you.
Over the last 3 years of running my own business, I've without exaggeration 10x my productivity through little by little incorporating these 10 different productivity hacks that I want to share with you in today's video in the hopes that you too can find them useful and realize that you're capable of getting a lot more done in a day than you previously would have thought and thereby make both massive progress towards your goals, but also with these work smarter, not harder methods, allow yourself more time off. And we're starting off with
number 1, the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes to get done, do it right away. The more we procrastinate and save that task for later, the more tasks build up, the more overwhelmed we're gonna feel.
That made me dizzy.
Where if we just reply to that text message right away, pay that bill online, putting things in the dishwasher, or unloading the dishwasher, the more clear space we're gonna have for the things that are actually gonna move the needle with the things that we wanna do in life. Eliminate notifications and distractions. One thing that I do, I've swapped out having my phone next to me when I sleep with an iPad where I have no social media, no notifications that are gonna move me away from getting up and priming myself for the day. Secondly, on my phone, I have shut off all notifications when it comes to Instagram, YouTube, even text messages. Only very few people do I have as like an emergency text message call situation. And thirdly, once you've got your notifications away, write a to-do list with the most important tasks first. And I recommend that you write it in the order of importance. If you get the most important thing done first, you're gonna feel so proud of yourself and it's just gonna give you more excitement and energy to get the other tasks on the to-do list done. And if you don't get them all done in that day, you just move it on to the next day, but at least you're very clear on what's gotta be done for the day. Forget perfectionism. There's a spike in my butt. Let's sit here instead. Perfection is the killer of all progress. No, seriously, it is. They did this study where they split up 2 groups of students where the task was to get the most incredible photos taken. One group were told to take 100 different pictures and the other group were told to only take 1 very perfect picture. And what they found out to be is that the group that took 100 different photos, I may be completely messing up this story and you've probably heard it before, said in a much better way, but this is the point. We're not trying to be perfect here with the storytelling. The group of students that took 100 different photos, in total, when they picked the best one and compared it with the other group of students that only were supposed to take 1 perfect photo, this group over here ended up winning with a long short, long term. My point is, I feel like the reason I'm able to get so much done is because it's not perfect. What I put out is not perfect. I try my best for every video, for every little task I do to get just 1% better every time. I'm not striving for perfection because if I were, I would never complete anything because we never are able to make anything perfect, right? There's always more progress to be done. Be clear on your priorities, and that means not being afraid to say no. Sometimes we got to eliminate certain things in order for us to make progress on other things. And especially with social media, like I feel like you see so many people doing so many cool things and it can be very easy to get off of track of what you're trying to do, what your priority in this very moment is. Like I really want to grow my YouTube channel. That's like my main priority, but I still tend to get tempted to focus on other things like wanting to write a book one day, getting the skills to speak on stages, focusing on my Instagram content over these YouTube videos that I've been doing now for 30 days.
Oh yeah, in case you're new here, I'm currently in the middle of doing a 30-day YouTube video series where every single day I'm posting a new YouTube video and I'm giving away one of my programs for free. So if you want to win it, all you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment, and I might just send it to you tomorrow.
There's just so many temptations, and I think if we're very clear on the thing that we want to do, it's so important that we prioritize that instead of getting tempted to do a million other things, because we only have the capacity to get very good at one thing at a time. If we multitask too much, the level of progress that we can make within this one area that really is our key priority is going to be a little bit more limited. So stay focused. Make sure you're very clear on your priorities. And that leads us to the 80-20 rule, which is a rule that states that 20% of the work that we do is what makes us make 80% of our progress. So if you write down a list of all the things that you do in a day, and then you figure out what are the 20% of the work I do that is making 80% of the progress or moving the needle 80%, then we can cut down or delegate that 80% of our time spent that isn't actually moving us in the direction that we deep down want. Self-evaluate performance and progress. And I have this weekly habit tracker where whenever I want to start a new habit, I write it down here and then I can cross off every single day when I've actually done the habit. Or maybe you want to get rid of a habit. And if that's the case, then you write the habit here and you check off every time that you don't do it. And there's something so satisfying about crossing that off in the morning. It just is. Schedule in downtime. For me, that is in the evening. I will shut off my brain at least an hour before I go to bed, because when we want to be productive, I think it's equally as important to have some downtime where you completely shut off your brain and just allow yourself to do whatever to shut it off and not think about work. Like a battery needs to recharge, so do we. For me, self-reflection time is actually the thing that probably has increased my productivity the absolute most, because I do ask myself the most challenging questions as to what I need to do. That may not always feel comfortable, maybe a little bit outside of my comfort zone, maybe something that I feel a little bit too lazy to do, but that is needed to be done in order for me to actually make that progress and up my productivity. So just as it's important to have some time where you completely shut off your brain, I think it's equally as important to have some time where you prime your brain and plan what needs to be done to make progress. And I do that in a morning routine. I think there's many different ways to do it. And as long as you know what it is that you need to do to get there, then create a contract with yourself and sign it with your name. This is out. As to when are you allowed and when are you not allowed to scroll on social media? When are you allowed and when are you not allowed to watch that Netflix show that you know you're gonna be binging on for hours? And when are you gonna allow yourself some nice eating breaks? That was a great scoop, because I personally tend to, like, if something feels really overwhelming work-wise, I'm like, let me get a snack. But really what that is just a distraction, where if I sat my butt down, completed the task, and then ate the snack, first of all, I would have completed the task / 10x my productivity. But secondly, once I do eat that snack, it's gonna feel so much more rewarding. So get very clear on when do you do what's in your life, and your productivity level is gonna skyrocket.
And if you want to see how I actually utilize these productivity hacks and put them into practice in my daily life, check out this video.
Thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you again tomorrow.